Join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Morris Smith, could you please call the roll?
Roger Bratt,
Here.
Michael Dye,
Here.
Ronald Sims,
Here.
Michael Pinker,
Here.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Here.
Dan Scatali,
Here.
Thomas Daverton,
Here.
Marcus Taylor,
Here.
Dean Button,
Here.
9 present, we have a quorum.
Thank you kindly. Next item on the agenda is item 3, approval of the meeting minutes for January 20th, 2026. You should have received in your board packet a copy of the meeting minutes for said date. Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Spitali, seconded by Commissioner Taylor. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Bratt,
Yes.
Michael Dye,
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
Michael Pinker.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Scatali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton,
Yes.
Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed.
Item 4 is old business. Have any old business?
There's no old business.
Thank you. Item 5 is new business, CP 26-4, petition of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission for approval of a 6-lot subdivision of Orchard Park, second addition to the city of Hammond, located in the 3200 block of 175th Street, which is zoned R1 Single Family Residential District within the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana. Chair would ask Mrs. Morris Smith if the notification requirements have been made.
Yes, they have.
Thank you. Before we get too far into this, Mr. Poland is intending to act both as the petitioner and as staff. And the chair now asks members if there's any objection to Mr. Poland acting as both petitioner and staff.
I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Rock. No objections noted. Please proceed, Mr. Poland, as petitioner.
I'm here representing the Redevelopment Commission on this project. They are the owner of the property. I believe we determined that it was acquired in 2017. It was a property that was between Orchard Drive and 175th. I'm sorry, my brain went hiccupy. That was the north part of what we called the Orchard Park addition. There's 11 houses there. South of 175th Street was another vacant piece of property. It's been vacant for all of us and have collective memories of how long it's been vacant. It actually has a tail of land that runs east-west along the southern border, a 20-foot wide tail of land that goes behind several of the properties on Idaho and on the street to the south. That tail is not a part of this subdivision. We have separately contacted those property owners because those various property owners have encroachments into the city's property, and that would be dealt with on a separate matter. So we're talking about the large proportion. It's, in your plat, you can see the shape of it. We're able to put 6 lots there. We've identified them. One of the interesting, and the lots are proposed to be, ranging from 7,500 square feet to 11,900 square feet. The 2 southern ones are really the most oddly shaped ones just because of creating that circle for a cul-de-sac and then how the property narrows. So they're kind of awkward. The depth is not what of the lots that we would normally want to see in a subdivision, but it'll just be a differently shaped house that could go on that property. We've had a lot of discussion about the street. That it would be an extension of Florida Avenue. One of the things that is at issue that the staff will talk about later, but it is a matter of how we're going to get that street to fit. We already have Turanga under contract actually designing the street, designing the sewers and water. And the, on the periphery of this property are pre-existing utility easements that serve the Parish Avenue houses, serve the Idaho properties, and then the 176th Street on the south. There's already a pole line there. It's been discovered that on the east side of this property behind the Idaho properties, the last pole and guy wire on that line actually is sitting on the property line, kind of invades into our subdivision. And the city engineer has contacted NIPSCO about relocating that pole into the existing platted easement behind the Idaho properties. Okay, yeah, as far as, is there any questions on the actual facts in the petition of this?
Questions from the commissioners to Mr. Poland as petitioner?
Okay.
Okay. At this point in time, we'll start a public meeting for this particular petition. So this opportunity to make public comment. So I would ask if there's anyone in the audience wishing to address the commission on this particular petition. If you are here, if you please step forward and sign in, state your name and your address, and we can accept your comment.
I just got the letter saying it was a petition like that, but they were in my backyard, marking, I guess, the NIPSCO, the electric and gas or whatever lines there are back there.
Can you actually have to state your name and your address?
Louis Justiano. Is something right with?
For sure.
My address is 7523 Parish Avenue. Been there 25 years. I know they wanted to do it a while back, years ago, put some houses back there. Used to be in a flood zone, and so for some reason they went against it. Like you said, the space for the cul-de-sac and all that, and being in the flood zone, we got that land back there gets, when it rains, it's like a pond back there.
Okay.
So my concerns too, what's going to be the elevation of that property? And then when it rains again, is that going to cause water to going into my backyard or the neighbors' yards? There's going to be proper drainage. He mentioned something about drainage. That's going to be on both sides of the lots. They were out there not too long ago surveying it, and they got markers in my backyard, so I'm just curious if they're going to be, affecting my property, tearing it up, or what they're going to do. There is a pole back there, a utility pole. So I'm just curious on what's going to be happening back there.
So what we do at this point in time, we just take public comment. We take all the comments here, and then when the public hearing is complete, we'll have the petitioner address, or the city will help address your questions.
All right.
So you're concerned about effect on your property, any potential stormwater runoff that would encroach on your
Yeah,
property?
I mean, when it rains, there's a pond back there.
Sure.
Because there's nothing there. And, if you put properties back there and if they're higher than what mine is, water's just going to come back there. So I'm concerned if they're going to have proper drainage. And like I said, they already got backyard marked with red flags and yellow flags. So I know it's gas line and electricity. So, I just have concerns on how it's going to affect us.
Okay, we'll try to address your concerns here in a minute. Thank you.
What?
7523. What? Parish, yeah, 7523.
Yeah,
Mr. Justiano. Is there anyone else wishing to make a comment on this petition? Anyone wishing to make a comment on this petition? Okay, the public hearing is now closed. I would ask Mr. Poland to take a shot at addressing Mr. Giustiano's concerns, and I will echo in as needed.
Yeah, so, yes, I mean, the surveyors have been out there. That's normally a part of the process when you're creating a subdivision, is to have the surveyors out. They look for the various points that are in the ground from the adjacent subdivisions. They were locating the pole line, the utilities, so we understood what was out there. That's where all of the markings start to come, because we call, it's called 811, but it's a location service that identifies all those things. And all that information is relevant for us understanding the property and how that affects a new subdivision. The question of you're talking about this drainage question, I think that's something that, Mr. Button, that we might want to discuss further with the civil engineer that we have working on this project.
So, and I'm Mr. Button, I'm Dean Button, I'm the city engineer, and I would let you know that, first of all, we're in design for the roadway, and there will be drainage, stormwater facilities in the roadway to make sure that the drainage comes to the street and not into the backyards.
Well, I'll be on the backside of the house, not where the.
Sure.
building is at.
Well, we're talking to the designer to see if there's anything that needs to be done to make sure so in the Hammond City ordinance, new property or properties are not allowed to direct their water on their property to their neighbor's property, right? So that's not permitted in the ordinance. So we would have to make design implications on the plan to make sure that doesn't happen, and we intend on fully making sure that doesn't happen to you.
And if it does,
Call me.
after the fact,
No, I mean, we'll talk to the engineer about how the grading is, because this is just platting the parcel now. This is not the full engineering design, and so we'll evaluate that and make sure that we're not pushing drainage off of the property onto the neighboring properties. And so you can reach out to me, Dean Button, I'm the city engineer, my office is here. If you want to meet after the meeting, I can certainly give you my card downstairs, and then you can reach out to me anytime, Mr. Giustiano.
I've seen the petition part, so I don't know if the neighbors were petitioning it or the lady said it's just the way they're phrasing the meeting or whatever,
Thank you.
as far as petitioning it. But I'm just curious, 'cause like I said, when it rains, it floods back there anyways. Not in my yard, but it's that field right there gets full of water.
Okay. That's good to know. We appreciate you telling us that.
So they're gonna be moving that power line or the phone line?
No, sir.
Well, the one that I mentioned was the last one on the Idaho side. That one has to be moved. Everything else is going to stay where it's
That's
at.
where the street side's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, it causes a conflict with that lot development there, but there's the pole line that runs east-west, and then there's a pole line behind the Parish Avenue. We're not touching those.
That's where I'm at, Parish.
Yeah, there's no change in the utility service to your property or the lines in the easement as a result of this subdivision.
That proper drainage
Yes, sir.
would be an issue.
Okay, that ends petitioner's response to comments.
Oh, one other question.
Sir, could you step up to the microphone if you have more questions?
The line, what do you call it, easement, is gonna be from the back of their house and the back of my house? So it's just 300 feet? Is that what it's gonna be?
No, sir, the plat doesn't adjust the rear yard easements that abut your property, right? There's no change in that easement in the backyards. There's no new easement in the new property, and there's no expanded easement onto your side of the current
So there'll
easement.
be 300 feet, is it gonna be back to back? So there's.
No,
just 300?
if you're talking about the 300 feet, if something you saw in the letter, that's just what we call our notification area. So we go from the boundaries of this property and everybody within 300 feet. So that's what that's referencing.
Right.
But as Mr. Button was saying, because of that pole line that's behind your property, I mean, the new houses may, take their electricity off the pole line, but they're not physically moving those on the parish side of the property.
So how close will their fence line gonna be to my fence line?
Well, the easement, that pole line is actually on your property.
Yeah, it is.
Right, and so, whatever I think it was I don't know, it was 10 or 15-foot easement there? 15. 15? Okay. However, I don't know what the exact dimension from the physical pole to the physical property edge, it may be, 7, 8 feet. But somewhere along in there, that's where the property line is, and that's where the new people can have their fence.
Okay. Just curious.
Thank you. Next is to have Mr. Poland present as staff. So, floor is yours, Mr. Poland.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to bear with me because this got to be a little complicated in the research I was doing in the subdivision ordinance. Basically, starting out that the Florida Avenue as a new street is being dedicated. And it is, by definition, it is a dead-end street or a cul-de-sac street. It has a length of 292 feet, plus or minus. Under subdivision ordinance 4829, that we're allowed to have a 500-foot length of a cul-de-sac, so that's compliant. The diameter of the circle is approximately 81 feet, but it's truncated because of how that property kind of narrows towards the south. What starts to become tricky is that there was an ordinance from the 1950s called 2992, and that's where it defined the 80-foot diameter, but not a truncated circle. What happened in the current subdivision ordinance, which is 4829, a lot of that technical information got taken out, whether it's the diameter of the circle, the minimum widths of a street from, for whether it's a residential street versus a commercial street. A lot of that was taken out. And the way the ordinance 4829 is written is that it leaves a determination of those technical things to the city engineer under whatever standards were provided to the Board of Public Works and Safety. And the next part of this is that because of, again, the narrowness of the street, the narrowness of the property, the desire to maximize the depth of the lots, and the fact that the houses in Idaho have their backyards to this new street, we determined that it is not reasonable or necessary to have a sidewalk on that side of the street. So normally a residential street is 50 feet wide. Back of curb to back of curb is 31 feet, and then the rest of it is the parkway. So we are reducing the platted width of the street to 41 feet and only maintain a parkway on the west side of the right-of-way and not have a parkway on the east side of the right-of-way. In the original ordinance of 2992, the back of curb length was 29 feet, but we now are building them at 31 feet. But that's based on current engineering standards, not specified in the subdivision ordinance. The one thing that is clearly stated in the subdivision ordinance is that sidewalks are required on both sides of the street. And so now we have a situation where the subdivision ordinance requires the sidewalks on both sides of the street, and we have a situation where, for all practical purposes, it doesn't make sense to have a sidewalk on one side of the street. To deal with that issue, ordinance 4829, again, the current ordinance, has a procedure to grant variances that the Plan Commission is allowed to do, but excludes the BZA. However, that language has been altered because of state statute, and Plan Commission can't grant variances, but they can grant waivers to the standards that are fixed in the subdivision ordinance. And then in my staff report, I give you the state code citation. So what we're saying to the next step is that the Plan Commission can consider granting a waiver to the provision of the ordinance section that requires the sidewalk on both sides of the streets to eliminate that one that's on the east side of the street. But there's nothing in the subdivision ordinance that gives the Plan Commission the authority to approve the reduction in the width of the street. So the subdivision plat was sent out for agency review. Not all the responses were received, but Comcast and AT&T were both concerned about what's happening to those utility poles. AT&T ultimately did not object, but Comcast has not officially responded yet. And then the water department had no objections, and then we're still waiting to hear from sanitary, NIPSCO, or Astound. But as stated earlier, that the city engineer has reached out to NIPSCO about relocating that one pole on the east side of the proposed Florida Avenue. So the first important motion that I'm asking the Plan Commission is to grant a waiver to not require sidewalks on the east side of the proposed Florida Avenue for the following reasons. And then the ordinance says these 4 criteria have to be addressed. You will note that the word waiver is in brackets. That is where I'm quoting this city code, but recognizing that the word variance that is in the city code is technically contrary to state statute, and I'm inserting the word waiver, which is the correct term under state statute. So that would be the motion that for the Plan Commission, if you are so inclined to grant the waiver to not require the sidewalks on the east side with the staff recommendation on the language that supports the criteria. And then
You want to start with that?
I'd like you to do that, if yeah.
Are you expecting us to read verbatim the entire motion?
I was hoping that you would just say, grant a waiver to not required sidewalks on the east side of the proposed Florida Avenue for the reasons stated in the staff report.
Thank you.
That's what I was.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dabberton, seconded by Commissioner Kazmierzak. Is there any discussion on the waiver? Or the motion, I should say. Any discussion on the motion? Discussion on the motion. Discussion on the motion. Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brott,
Yes.
Michael Dye,
Yes.
Ronald Sims,
Yes.
Michael Pinker.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton,
Yes.
Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button,
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay, and then the last motion, staff's opinion is that the plat meets the requirements set forth in the subdivision control ordinance and recommends that the Plan Commission grant preliminary and final approval of the subject plat subject to, 1, the technical corrections on the subdivision plat. The version you have does not have the addresses on it, and there may be some technical changes when we go back and talk to the city and the civil engineer on the project. 2, approval of the waiver to eliminate the sidewalk on the east side of Florida Avenue, and you have just done that. And 3, approval of the city engineer and the Board of Public Works and Safety on reducing the width of the street to 41 feet. Mr. Button will have to kind of discuss actually how we need to do that through the Board of Works, just to, because, like I said, the Plan Commission doesn't have that jurisdiction. And then if the Plan Commission agrees with the staff report, it is recommended the staff recommended the staff report is adopted as findings of fact.
Okay, Chair would entertain a motion that we approve the plat, give preliminary and final plat approval, subject to technical corrections to the subdivision plat. Obviously, we've already approved the waiver to eliminate the sidewalk on the east side of Florida Avenue, and approval of the city engineer and the Board of Public Works and Safety on reducing the width of the right-of-way to 41 feet.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kazmierzak, seconded by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brown?
Yes.
Michael Dye?
Yes.
Ronald Sims?
Yes.
Michael Pinker?
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak?
Yes.
Dan Spitali?
Yes.
Thomas Davenport?
Yes.
Marcus Taylor?
Yes.
Dean Button?
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Chair would also entertain a motion to accept the staff report as a finding of fact.
So moved.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Moved by Commissioner Daberton, seconded by Commissioner Kazmierzak. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brown?
Yes.
Michael Dye?
Yes.
Ronald Sims?
Yes.
Michael Pinker?
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak?
Yes.
Dan Spitali?
Yes.
Thomas Davenport?
Yes.
Marcus Taylor?
Yes.
Dean Button?
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you very much. Is there any other new business?
No new business.
Item 6 is correspondence.
No correspondence.
Item 7 is commissioners' comments. Seeing none, item 8 would be staff comments.
At this time, I am not anticipating a March Plan Commission meeting.
Thank you. Item 9 would be public comment. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the Plan Commission at this time? Anyone in the audience? Anyone on Zoom or online wishing to address the Plan Commission? Seeing none, public comment is closed. Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Second.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kazmierzak, seconded by Commissioner Taylor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion
Aye.
carries.